I did want to kind of, express how this is my first solo video edit, and I can see how some of the things I said may not be entirely true, or how I could have expanded more. So I really need some feedback. And with the feedback, it can help me, probably expand on those ideas even more. But let's get into the video. Hope you enjoy. Hey, how you doing, YouTube? It's Tim from Excellence and Ambitions, and I'm going to be doing a commentary over this video. We're discussing different ideas and topics, as well as having a speaker, give us tips on to better our video editing and our podcasting, such as topics, structure, and more. He's trying to teach us life skills as well. Now, for the most part, I can agree with a lot of things he's saying, but I also want to challenge some of his ideas. Now, we'll get back to that.
For the girl podcast, who's your
host? So there's a guy podcast and a girls podcast, two different?
So some days it's only girls, some days it's only boys, and it's also be combined where it's boys and girls.
And that's still under the same now that's in it?
Yes.
Okay, so what would be, is there a topic difference with the girls and the guys, or do y'all it's just somewhat random?
Somewhat, yes. Some of it is random, but also different topics, because sometimes some of the topics that the boys are going to come up with, the girls don't know how to answer the questions.
Give me an example.
So a lot of times the boys want to do sports and rappers and shoes and stuff like that. The girls are not really that interested. They don't really know how to get into that topic. Okay. The same way as the boys.
And what's the topic that the girls want to talk about?
What y'all like to talk about?
Relationships.
So would it be, is it easier to just separate it?
In my opinion, yes, because like I said, when the girls want to try to answer the boy question, they're not giving as much dialogue. So it's the episode not really getting anywhere, because there'll be a one answer.
Dry spit. So the intro happens, and then is there so what happens after the intro? Is there
I want to chime in for a second now. When it comes to the topics between the boys and girls and excellence and ambition, I kind of find the topics to be pretty much surface level. I think what really engages people is something that goes way more in depth, and something that actually matters to people. And he actually does kind of get into that further along in the video, so we'll get back to that.
Yeah, a dedicated segment every episode. It's this.
Yeah, sometimes it's random, but sometimes it's a dedicated.
So on the times it's dedicated, what's it about? What's the first one about?
We did sports,
Sports.
Asking what's your favorite player, or what's your favorite sport, and stuff like that.
Okay. When the girls do it, what will be the first segment after the intro?
Basically, the questions what do you like to do in free time?
Okay. Let me ask y'all a question. Who is your target market?
That's the question for y'all to answer. Who your target marketing?
Who's your target market?
Topics?
Who is watching this podcast?
What's it?
You. The answer is me.
I think it would
be. The answer is me.
I think it's more targeted towards people our age.
You.
Yeah.
It's just you. So the reason I'm asking that is because when you doing something for you, you know what you like.
Yeah. Right around this part of the video, he has a point though. When you're doing a topic, it's supposed to be something you like. But I also think when we're doing these topics, we gotta have topics and questions that challenge people, make them think about outside environments or outside solutions, or just challenge your own thinking. I want people to challenge their own thinking, because for the most part, a lot of our topics, like, it's not really challenging anyone's thinking. It's just people, like, for the most part, we just come up with random ideas, talk, but like it never really gets too in depth for the most part.
Right. You know what you're interested in. I think the biggest thing about a podcast is how you manage that. So if you're going 15 minutes, here's my model, okay? So you got your intro, which is no longer than 15 seconds, all right? You got 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and you have your outro. Now what this does is it keeps everything on a level. I know what I'm doing here, I know what I'm doing here, I know what I'm doing here. I also know what I'm doing here, here, and here. These are your ad breaks. Okay?
And this I completely agree with him on. Like, I feel like us being younger, people tend to have a low attention span when it comes to these kinds of videos. Like, podcasts, people just listen. It's not more about, just watching the people speak. It's more about listening to the people speak. And not a lot of people, will just be listening to someone speak for 30 minutes unless that's something they genuinely want to hear about. Now, that can be subjective to the topic as well. Like, it may not be something you're totally interested in, but it could also be something that's highly intriguing to you. Now, for the most part, this speech lasted about an hour, and this might end up being a much longer video than 15 minutes, if I'm being entirely honest.
And did you find the bracelet?
I did.
Anybody have one on?
Let me see if is any bracelets in the drawer?
No. This is where you promote
I think they're all gone.
this is where you promote your bracelet.
Any bracelet?
This is where you promote your program.
I hope your FC is right in the front because it's about cost.
So promote.
Your fundraiser.
So promote in between each topic, like after one topic, promote, next topic, promote again.
So your 5 minutes after the intro, your first topic, here's what I'm gonna suggest to y'all. Now this is solution oriented. You guys have a divide, right? And it's easier to just ride the divide. It's a bigger, more high value solution if you figure out how to come together.
He's completely correct about this. Like, for the most part, the boys and girls, like, it never seems like they can totally agree on one thing or just one subject in itself. Like, the boys might see that as not important and the girls might see that as stupid. And when it comes to these things, you got to look at both sides of the situation. And that also comes into play with a topic he brings up later on in the video.
Meaning, you can do sports, right? Let's say you do sports, but anybody know who Clarissa Shields is?
No.
Clarissa Shields is the #1 heavyweight female boxer in the world.
Right.
Anybody know who Serena Williams is?
Yeah.
Anybody's Naomi, who just beat her? Naomi, did you say Campbell?
I'm sure.
Naomi Osaka, I think her name is. Just beat her?
I don't think he was prepared for that answer.
Anybody familiar with who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, if you don't, just look it up. So I think it's easier to divide, right? But it's more value when you come together.
Yeah.
Meaning, you, boy you, girl you, will now have a reason to watch this. Because you're talking about stuff that speaks to both of you. Even if it's a topic that usually speaks to just one of you. When it talks about relationships, which is a great concept, there's absolutely no way, what's her name? Oh, that's the bracelet there? There's no way you can have a relationship by yourself. Right? So relationships is not a girl topic.
Yeah. Like, it's a man and woman topic.
It's a man and woman topic. Fix your face. It's a man and woman topic.
I think that with people, like, nowadays, this generation, Now, I feel kind of weird saying that, like, I'm part of this generation, but when it comes to relationships, people don't keep them to a high standard as they did before. They keep it more as, like, a byproduct of life. Like, they don't really take it as serious. They just, you know, I got a girlfriend, I got a boyfriend, but they never, it seems like it never really goes too in depth when it comes to that.
Right? So relationships is absolutely both. Now, what I want y'all to do is not be typical. Okay? Don't be typical. Don't be regular. Don't be average. What's the name of this program?
Excellence
And ambition.
What's the first word?
Excellence.
What's the second word?
Ambition.
Talk to me slow. It's about setting a bar. Like the name of my high.
And at this point in the video, I'm really agreeing with him. And it's like, typical people or typical topics, it's like, it's not as engaging, you know? Like, you gotta think outside the box when it comes to this. You gotta do what's not considered to be normal to get people to engage, or not even what's considered to be normal. You gotta do things that people don't typically think about or typically give, you know, credit to.
High school, and you know what's funny, when I was a kid, it ain't mean nothing to me. My high school theme was making excellence a tradition. Shut up. Now, I breathe it, it's excellence. If it ain't excellent, I can't really rock with it. It's clients I stopped messing with because they not at my ambition level. I'm not speaking down on nobody. I'm just saying, if you part of the program, be part of the program and let the program be part of you. Because you can't lose when you're ambitious. It's impossible to lose. It don't matter what you do. You can't lose when you're ambitious. Even if you don't win the top prize, you're still ambitious.
And this is something like me as a person, I've been really trying to, you know, embrace, you know, you can't, you know, really, I can't say you can't make it in life without being ambitious, but you will get the most from life when you're as ambitious as you can possibly be. Like, it's not about being the best. You don't even gotta be the best in other people's eyes. It's better to be the best in your eyes. Be the best you, or, you know, do what you think is best for you, not, you know, to like what would be best for others, you know, because like that's not to say that you shouldn't, you know, consider others, but you should always put yourself first. You should always put yourself first and put your ambitions before others people's ambitions or ideals.
So let this reflect in that. So if you're doing something on sports, do something where if you're gonna have a divide it amongst yourself so that it works for yourself. Do male and female athletes, right? And do it in a way that's not just talking about who's your favorite artist or who's your favorite athlete. Do it in a way that's inclusive. Now, I'm gonna start with y'all because y'all are born leaders, right? And that's not a point of discussion. You're a leader. It's why you're a man, that men are leaders. I want y'all to figure out a way to be inclusive. That's your job. Figure out a concept that includes them. And not includes them sparingly. Includes them inclusively. Okay? So y'all.
For me, when I think of concepts that include men and women inclusively, it's more of talking about topics that affect us both. Not topics that, you know, not biased topics, more topics that are universal. Everyone gotta feel it. You know, everyone gotta feel this emotion. Everyone gotta go through this same thing, no matter their gender.
Gotta figure that out. At the same time, with the relationship piece, that's a whole you can do the whole podcast about that. But do not do no gender wars. This isn't a boy versus girl, men versus women. For some reason, we learned that small. That is destructive to the family. We need each other.
As well as people, you know, having common experiences, common, you know, ideals, common themes, you know, common just having, you know, ideas that collide, because I'm pretty sure he gets to this later in the video. Like, to really, you can have two separate ideas, two separate ways about going about something, but if y'all all have a common goal, then that can bring you together. Me and another person don't gotta have the same plan, but if we got a common goal, that can help us build something off of that.
Matter of fact, that could be your concept right there. And I would be blown away if I heard some, how old are you? Yes, how old are you? If I heard some 16 and 17-year-old black men and women from Park Heights talking about we need each other. What? That's excellent.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What you mean, like, need, like, what aspect?
Okay, now answer it. We need each other. What does that mean?
We need each other to, like, live, like I'm asking, like, are each other, we need each other to move on, like make money, like, in what aspect?
Is it just me or does he sound like he's answering the question?
It's what you think you need. Like, what do you want to talk about? What is that? What do you hear?
I mean, you think, alright, so you think that's an opinion, you think that's a fact?
I don't know.
This is something I commonly see a lot, like, on a gender spectrum, it might be one side, it might be a topic where a woman might not want to hear out a man's point of view on a topic because they feel they might not understand, or a guy might not want to hear out a woman's point of view because they feel she might not understand. Now, like, he got to this later in the video, but like, impact is everything, but it's more optimal for us both to understand each other and understand each other's intentions than it is for just for me to understand that one person's feelings and they not understand mine. You get me?
Oh, what do you think?
I think it's an opinion.
Okay. Now, there are values to opinions.
Yeah.
I don't value everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
I don't entertain everybody's opinion. Once I hear you start talking, I know whether or not I need to. You ever have a conversation with somebody, and the longer you had that conversation, the dumber you feel for having a conversation? I have those conversations very rarely.
I feel like this right here shouldn't, like, it's obviously a good question, but like, he basically is implying that like it shouldn't be a question. He's like, you're answering the question like your mom and dad had to come together for us to even be here. So that's the biggest factor as to why we need each other, because without a man and a woman, there's nothing. Like, you might have a good life if you know what, I don't want to get into that, but like, you basically get where I'm going with that. And like, a man and a woman quite obviously need each other because they both, their flaws are they can both give, better structure on each other's flaws, better insight on each other's flaws, because the two both think differently. They both have different values, different ideas.
But often enough to start recognizing them to the point where we don't need to have this conversation. I want your conversation up here.
Right.
Okay? What that means is you just answered that question. You answered it pretty intelligently.
Right.
We need each other. What does that mean? What does we need each other mean? Why would we need each other? I'm asking you? Benefit. Is there more benefits to being collaborative or more benefits to being apart?
No benefits.
Give me one benefit that comes with us being collaborative.
Different ideas.
Different ideas. Different ideas. I couldn't even get the question out. Different ideas. Well, give me another one. You. What's another benefit of us working together? Say again.
Different opportunities.
Different opportunities. Now that's all vague, yo. I'm not a vague person. I need to be specific like the ocean. Give me an example. Give me an example of a benefit, an opportunity, and an idea that comes with us working together. Because it sounds good, but I needed to land.
And I do think this part can be a little subjective, because there are conversations where it's like, why am I even having this conversation? But at the same time, that all comes down to perspective, because what's important to you might not be important to someone else, and vice versa. And that also goes along with values. Like, if our values different, how can we make something? If we got different ideals, how can we make something? And like I was saying, you can have that, but when your goals align, or the end game aligns with each other, that's when you can like make something out of those differences.
I'm not a sound good guy. Give me an example of what you're talking about. What's an example of a benefit that comes from us operating from the understanding that we need each other? Need is not want. You want some Jordans. We need each other. What's a benefit that comes from that understanding? Who said that? Okay, yeah, you know. All right. Yeah, commitment. Camaraderie. Here's another. This like mine. This like mine.
And here's where like I feel like later on in the video we kind of got onto a little one-sided kind of topic. It basically implies how your intentions are, and a person's intentions is less valuable than the impact they have on a person. Now, I believe this can be very subjective, because if I explain my intentions and it doesn't have, I had a bad impact, I should take accountability, but that doesn't mean I should not explain my intentions, because I believe it's more beneficial and optimal to, for us both to understand where each other is coming from. Like you wouldn't want a person to, misinterpret your intentions based on how they feel or the impact you had on them, because at the end of the day, like, the impact you have on a person can also be subjective to just how that person thinks and how they view, life in itself. And when you have like these colliding factors, it makes it, hard to bring people together. Like, if you can only cater to the impact that you have on people, what does that mean for you? Like, if we both can't understand, why what I did this, and why what I did, why I was saying or doing an action, then we're never gonna come to an agreement. Like, both sides, the impact and the impacted, both gotta understand each other. And that can be a bit of a circular topic, but I feel that's like one of the most important aspects when it comes to what you just said. Like, to bring people together, they both have to understand each other and understand each other's values, understand each other's intentions, and understand the impact that they both want to have on people and a group. Because without intentions, there is no impact.
Anybody know what that word says?
Yeah.
Stability. I didn't have much of that coming up. I value that now. Stability is everything. Stability means I know where you're going to be between 9 and 5. I know what you're going to be doing between 9 and 5 or 9 and 3 or whatever the case may be. I know where you're coming home to. I don't have to have a whole bunch of riffraff with you, because your focus as a man is to be stable. Your focus as a woman is to appreciate stability. Appreciate means to manage. It means to grow. Appreciate is an active word. You appreciate, your bank account appreciates, it grows. When you appreciate something, you nurture it. You make it grow. You receive it, you embrace it, and you make it grow. So you operate from the side of production, you operate from the side of appreciation. I produce stability, I appreciate stability.
That's another thing, like, to commit to like your goal, you have to commit to that intention. Like, you have to stick with your intentions. And you can't control everyone's perception on life. You can't control how they're impacted. Now, you can always play a factor in how they impact it, but you can never really control like how a sentence that was meant for good made somebody feel bad. You can't control that. That's all based on them and how they take it. And like, I could say the best thing in the world and have the worst impact on everybody, but is that I can't, like, can you entirely say that it's my fault? Because that's all based on your perception. And when a group of people are kind of like commonly raised in the same, you know, environment, they will have common values. But that's also why it's important for people of different environments and people of different values to come together, because once they all come to an agreement, if they can come to an agreement, you can make a lot more, and it can be a lot more beneficial just based off of that. Excuse me.
Does that make sense? Give me an example, because I'm saying stuff and it sounds good, but give me an example. Why is that a good idea? Why does that make sense? Yes, sir.
Because relationships can't always be 50-50. Sometimes it gotta be 80-20. And yeah.
That right there all comes down to an intention. If I don't intend to appreciate stability and appreciate, you know, growth or bonding and a lot of other subjects, you know, then what can I make from that? If I don't intend to do that, then how can I really have the impact that I want to have? You gotta, like, I put impact and intentions on the same level, because without one, there is no other. The same way love and hate works.
You better talk slow. You better talk slow. Who said hold up? What you talking about? Say something.
You said stability.
Yes, sir.
For stability, you need two different people for two different ideas. For one, say a man is going for an engineering degree and the woman's going for a nursing degree. Okay, so you would need someone else, you would need the other person to understand your schedule, vice versa. For that to be working, you need to communicate. For communication, you need to be understanding of what they want and what they don't want, or what they need and what they don't need.
How old are you?
19.
What's interesting about what you said, and I'm gonna push back on you, we're gonna have a diamond session right now. I'm gonna push
Right here, I feel like that's where most of our generation gets things, you know, kind of mixed up. Like, they expect to gain more from somebody than they give, and for the most part, who wants to be subjected to someone who's giving less than what they're giving, or getting less than what they're giving? Because it's like, you obviously don't hold me to the same value as I do you. You might not, you know, you don't have the same intentions I have for you as you do me. And that can create a bad impact.
You are 100% right and also 100% wrong at the same time. Let me tell you what you're right about, right? What you're right about is what you said last. Understanding. We need to understand each other. What you're wrong about is what you said first. We need to have two different da-da-da-da-da. The thing that we need to value and we need to understand, we've been lied to in a lot of ways, right? What we need to value is this one concept right here. This can heal a lot of our challenges, and I'm gonna hopefully y'all can infuse this in what y'all do. You need to value the concept of singularity. Singularity means a community is exclusive. It's not inclusive. You can't go up Park Heights in Reisterstown and go up in Jewish community center and play. Why? Because what?
Because they have different values.
Because you're not a Jew. Your community is you. The word community is common and unity. That's singular. It's not a whole bunch of...
But I also do think that can be subjective to like different situations. Like, there will be times where you need to, you know, give more than what someone else is giving you, because like I said, that is a perspective kind of thing. Like, if a person doesn't feel in a, you know, an assertive mindset to where they feel they can, you know, give you something, you might have to be in that position where you gotta step up and give them more than what they bargained for. At times you gotta do more to get more out of somebody else.
Singularity means we might be two people, we on the same highway though, and we going in the same direction. We might not be going at the same speed, but we going at the same direction. The end goal is singular.
So it's like we could have a common idea but different
Solutions.
The common is more important.
Yeah.
The common is more important. That's where the value comes in. That's where the solutions come in. Because the solution comes towards the commonality or moves you towards the commonality. So if y'all gonna do a podcast and you're in a space of an influencer and somebody who has values and solutions, not somebody who's just talking, because I don't do those. But somebody who actually has something valuable to share, it's about solutions, commonality, and community.
No.
So we need each other. If you're gonna do this relationship piece, the benefits of we needing each other, the opportunities, the ideas, this like all of it comes together when you look at it from a lens of, well, we are a community, right? We are a community, and we are the people who move our community forward. We are the ones who provide the solutions that we need. Who else would it be? I don't see anybody else here. I don't see anybody that's coming. Solutions are right here. But you have to be solution-minded.
So when you have a common goal, common values, it's going to create unity. But you can also have different ideas and still have, the same goal. But like, it all comes down to the people who are willing to take in what another person has to offer.
We're not gonna be men this and women this. I don't even know what that means. I know what my community does. I know what my community needs. So if I'm gonna open my mouth, I'm gonna open my mouth about what my community needs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I speaking French at all? This is all making sense.
Yeah.
Does anything I'm saying make absolutely no sense? Do I need to just leave right now and just drop the mark on the floor and walk out?
Nah.
I like dropping markers, I don't know. So this makes sense. Is this something you can see that maybe you can add a little bit of tunnel to your podcast? Meaning you're moving in the same direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're doing sports, go deeper with it than just who's your favorite player. Go deeper with it. You saw how you asked the question and I asked you to answer? So the questions that y'all have, I want y'all to answer it on the podcast. But not just the questions y'all have, like all the time, common conversation. The questions that y'all have, but y'all didn't even know you had. Like, who is the greatest female track athlete of all time? Who? Say that one more time. Female? I'm not familiar. You're educating me. That's my point.
I feel like what plays a part in this is how you intend to go about your solutions. Because a lot of people can go on solutions for the same, that you can have the same goal and go on solutions up for the same thing. Their solution, like, they might not have the same solution, but the goal can still be the same. But like, if they go about it two different ways, they're both gonna have two different impacts, and like,
I'm gonna say Florence Griffith Jr. Exactly. Look, we just did exactly what I'm talking about.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
I didn't even know that. You didn't know what I was talking about. We're answering questions we didn't know we had. So if you're gonna highlight excellence and ambition, if this is we are excellence and ambition, let's be excellent and ambitious. Let's talk about the greatest male, the greatest female. Then let's break them down. Don't just highlight them, tell their story. Listen, anybody seen Joe and Jada? This right here, oh my gosh, we are in the era of storytelling.
like he said, that's his point. Like, regardless if we got, different ideas, different values, different, objectives, you know, if the end goal all comes down to the same thing, you know, there's still more we can learn from each other, even if, you know, we don't entirely agree. Like, even when it comes to, you know, the war that's happening right now, you know, there's stuff that, you know, the Middle East could learn from America. There's stuff that America could learn from the Middle East. And there's a lot that comes into play with that.
Joe and Jay, Fat Joe and Jadakiss.
Yeah, I know both.
Yeah, you know both? Like you
I know both.
You take one of them?
I wish I could.
I know both of them.
I know of
They
both.
both
Sorry.
my album.
Sorry. I wish, man.
You familiar with both of them?
Yeah, I know both.
Excellent, excellent. Storytelling. Podcasts are about storytelling. Podcasts, you gotta remember, 90% of podcasts are not viewed. You listen to them. While you're driving in the car, while you're working out, while you're cleaning the house. You listen. Why? Storytelling. What I want y'all to do is take this concept or take these concepts and go, how can I make my podcast or make our podcast so magnetic that people will want to listen to it? We got all these characters, cool, but it's more about what we're saying. The value of what you're saying is so magnetic that people are like, oh, I gotta listen to that. They really saying some stuff. They 17? They 18? Wow. How can we go there? Storytelling. So tell their story.
He said we're in the era of storytelling. To give examples is to tell a story. Although it might be just a scenario, you gotta listen to this type of story to really grasp a concept. You know, different concepts can lead you to different solutions and different ideas and different values. And you should really strive to, you should strive to change values, or adopt values, or, critique values. And there are always values that you should probably, put higher than others, and values that you should put on the same level or put lower than others. And when it comes down to it, there's more we can learn from each other just by having these different ideas, different values, different concepts, and just hearing different storytelling. Like, we need this. We all need this.
Who's the greatest boxer out of Baltimore City?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Tank.
Like,
Tell his story though. What's his story? What does somebody? I love this word and I hate this word at the same time. What does telling somebody's story do?
Get a background.
Say again?
Get a background, like the person.
Get a background. But what does it do for somebody else who might be? If you're telling? No, that's a female boxer. So we're talking about the greatest female boxer, and this sister over here wants to box. And she hears that story. What does it do for her? I hate that word. I love it and I hate it because people waste it. It's like pouring gasoline on gas. Nothing happens, but it's so valuable, but people don't use it. I want you to feel that way too. I just want you to feel. You don't have to. I want you.
I genuinely completely agree with him on, like, people take inspiration in either a good or a bad way. They might take an inspiring quote or an inspiring, concept or idea or an inspiring story in a completely bad way, just kind of based on how they view life. And you gotta look at, for the most part, you gotta look at the good in things and not always the bad. And even when it comes down to that, you can learn something just from understanding the good and the bad about a story. You can come up with your own ideas, come up with your own values, come up with your own morals. Like, all that plays a part, because without being inspired, there's nothing and everything. You can get inspired and do the completely opposite of what inspired you. And then it's like, did you get inspired in a good way or get inspired in a bad way? Did this inspiring, conversation motivate you or, deter you from chasing something, chasing your goals, chasing ideas you have? And even me myself, this conversation, just put me in a state of mind where I want to make a video like this.
Why? Because then you become numb to the value of what you're doing not being received. Which is, before you even start doing it, a great way to look at it. It's like you're a tree. You see that tree right there? Everybody look at the tree. Okay. You see all the branches on the tree?
Yeah.
Okay. So each of you are a tree, right? Now I want you to think of all those branches, all those leaves as mangoes, right? So no, it's really not. It's really not. Each of you are a tree, and those are all mangoes. So if somebody's hungry, they can go to the tree and pick what? A mango. All year round, right? So you feed the garden, feed the community all year round. Here's the punchline. Who feeds the tree? You're a tree. So you stop expecting people to feed you. You just know your job is to feed.
And I feel like his analogy may go over a lot of people's heads. Like, you're the tree, or the other person might be the tree. You gotta feed the tree with information so that that tree can develop as a being in itself. Like, his goal right now is to feed us. We're the trees in this scenario. He's feeding us with information to develop our thinking, develop our concepts, develop our values, develop our ideas. I do believe this may have went over a lot of people's heads in the moment, and probably even me, because for the most part, I could grasp what he was what he was saying. I understood what he was saying, but just being there in the moment, for me, I couldn't really give too much input. But after time of thinking, like a tree, it's not gonna grow right away. After a while of thinking, taking in these ideas and concepts, you come up with new ideas and concepts. You come up with new values, new goals, and everything.
When you operate that way, you hold no expectations. I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you it, I'm gonna keep giving it to you. That's my job. I'm gonna keep giving it to you. That's my job. What you do with it is not my concern. And I'm telling you that because you get to manage your emotions a little bit.
There's another input I want to put on it, I feel like a lot of us can relate to this, it's parent and child conflict. Like, a child might not want to, be fed the tree, or a lot of adults might think, I'm grown, can't nobody tell me nothing, and that's like you denying water. Being fed doesn't always got to be a literal sense. It can just be, being fed new ideas, new values, new concepts. I know I kind of keep going over the same thing, but I really want, any viewers that go over this to fully grasp what he's saying and to, fully take it in and really understand the points he's trying to make. Because people might just say he agrees with him because it does sound good, but anything can sound good, but you can still not understand.
When you pour into something and you don't get nothing back from it, happens all the time. But if you go into it knowing that, you'll manage your emotional responsibility. That's a little extra. We're not going too deep into that today, but what I want to give y'all is just a direction and some depth. So your podcast needs to be forward moving and also longitudinal. This is the platform for longitude, for depth, storytelling. So tell some stories. Tell some stories that's relevant to men and women in the sports space. Relationships. Tell some stories. Anybody ever heard of this podcast called Deadass with Deval and Kadeem?
No.
Great. Oh man, I forget the name of the book. They just put a book out together. They're a black couple. Deval used to play football. Kadeem, I don't know what she did. They're a black couple and they have about 4 kids and they're doing pretty well. He's an actor, he's on TV, blah, blah, blah. The book title, I should have screenshotted it. The book title talks about, Kadeen says something about how I learned as a woman that intention and impact are two completely different things. So if I said, yo, that yellow thing on your hat make you look like you got 3 eyes, ha 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 ha, then you take the hat off and you really got 3 eyes? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, that hurt my feelings. And she goes, well, I didn't intend to hurt your feelings. That's not the point.
But like I said, that's all based on perspective. Like, even when he said, he was talking about me. He was talking about me. I had a, where's that? You know, we're gonna put this, I had this hat on you, right? This hat, 3 eyes, you know. For me, I laughed, you know. His analogy was, you know, making somebody feel bad, you know. You saying something and they feel bad, but for me, you know, things like that, it's best to, you know, kind of embrace it, you know. Why feel bad about your flaws, you know? Now, I understand why people can feel bad about their flaws, you know. Even I myself at times do feel bad about my flaws, but if you're always feeling bad about what's wrong with you, try to look at how much different it is than other people. Like, if you have something that someone else doesn't, you know, and they might try to, you know, judge you about that. You don't always gotta look at it in a bad way. You can look at it in a much better way than they intended for it to be. They might intentionally want you to feel bad about it, but if you perceive it in, you know, a good or funny way, then their intentions don't really mean too much. And honestly, I did just answer his question. But I also, like, it's two sides, because they collaborate. Intentions and impact collaborate, but they're also separate. And since they collaborate and separate, it's a circle. You know, a circle separates and comes right back together. Did just answer his question.
Yeah.
What you intended was not the point. The point is the impact that you had. Now, because you didn't intend for that impact, and I tell you the impact has happened, what are you going to do? Are you going to take accountability for the impact you just created? Or are you going to hide behind the intention that you didn't have?
This is something what I explained to one of my friends not too long ago. Like, it's more optimal to, you know, I feel like when there is a situation where someone might, you know, take it to heart, you should first take accountability, you know. But if you really want to build something off of it, that other person should understand your intentions. And a lot of people don't really like to express their intentions when they have bad intentions, you know. And if I can understand you have bad intentions for me, or bad intentions, you know, that can give me way more insight on how I should feel about a situation, how I should act about a situation, instead of just worrying solely on the impact or solely how I felt about it, because it's so much more than just what you're feeling. Like,
one of those is being an adult, and one of those is not. And she talks about how she had to learn as a wife that intention and impact are two different things when you actually like somebody and you care about how they feel. I love these stories. I love listening to them. And the funny thing is, y'all never heard of them. But I can probably quote any of the men are this and women are these concepts that we hear and get fed all the time, which is complete garbage and completely keeps us separate. So what you can do is tell stories of successful relationships and what makes them successful. What makes a relationship a healthy relationship? Me over me. That's it. Yes.
in like, when he talks about success, I feel like people need to start thinking about success more than failure. Now, obviously, that's a no-brainer, but you need to be able to be willing. You got to be willing to fail to succeed. Like, you can't just completely avoid failure. You can't go into something thinking you might fail. You got to go into that situation with the mindset that you're going to get what you want. You're going to get the outcome that you want, but you also got to be able to accept that if you fail, it is what it is. And if you fail, there might be another outlook you can have, or another option for you, or just something else that can get you where you need to go.
He Over Me is the name of the book.
That's a married man, yeah.
Okay? but think about that. Think about that. We over me. That's how you go into a relationship. It's we. There's a third party. The third party is called we. There's two me's and a we. There's me, and then there's we. And each of us gotta feed that we before we feed the me.
He said me, and we. Like, if I can't, like, I kind of view it as like, if you can't understand my intentions, it might make it a little bit harder for me to understand the impact I have on you. Or if I can't really understand the impact, or you may not understand the impact, like, how can I really grasp the intentions you had for me? Like, because in a relationship, you can't just think about what's gonna benefit me more. We gotta think about what's gonna benefit us more, because if it's only benefiting one person, there's little value to it. If it benefits both parties, it can be in two completely different ways. Then there's something to build off of that.
Anybody ever heard of that concept before?
Yeah.
You have heard that concept before? Is it popular though?
No.
Tell the truth, shame the devil. Tell the truth, shame the devil. We don't hear that kind of stuff. We all kind of, well, I'm in this and why nigga, we hear all of that. But if y'all coming from excellence and ambitious place, I feel like y'all gonna line up more with a we over me type of narrative than the. Am I wrong on that? Yeah. You understand the question? You understand the question? Well, y'all know what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
So, y'all relationships, tell stories. Tell stories. Talk about solutions. Talk about stuff that's unusual. Talk about stuff that's unusual but also magnetic. Like, you know, talk about, like, so on today's show, we're gonna highlight 25-year relationships. Black relationships that have been 25 years long, whether they're in the media or not. When you do your engagement piece, when you do, hey y'all, tell me what y'all thought of this. Y'all say, I want you to find somebody that you can touch who's been married 20 years. Find them. Take a picture with them and send it in. Why am I doing that? Why is my engagement month? So UGC is user-generated content. I use it as user-generating concepts. User-generating content. Like, I'm generating content for users, right? My assignment to you is find somebody you can touch who's been married 20 years and likes their partner.
I don't think I'm on, you know.
What does that do though? What does that do?
It forces the audience to engage.
What does that do for your podcast?
Make it different.
Come on.
It shows people that's watching.
I'm producing a podcast right now called Marry Me. And it's a Afrobeat guy, his name is Bex. He has a song named Marry Me. And as a black man, I love the idea of a single black man put on a podcast talking about how can we create a more healthy black marriage? What does that do for the black community? What's it do?
I feel like it shows that we love each other. We can get together.
Do we need that?
Yes.
That's an everybody question. Do we need that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That wasn't everybody. We need that?
Yes.
So your concept.
And like, I'm like, the baby started crying, so I wasn't entirely sure what he said. I'm pretty sure he said, what can we do to create healthy black marriages? And honestly, it doesn't even have to entirely just be healthy black marriages. It can just be healthy friendships, relationships in general. Like, when something's like, when a community of people got the mindset of we over me, that'll bring them people together a lot more. There's a lot more power when everyone's thinking about each other and then everyone's thinking about themselves, because if everyone can help each other in different ways and different aspects, there's really nothing to lose. But I feel like a lot of people nowadays are more in a mindset of wanting to gain over giving. And honestly, that's a problem. And like, even then, it's like, even when you're just naturally a person that loves to give, it's like when you see people, when you're giving to people that mostly want to gain over give, you know, that kind of can cause conflict, internal conflict, for a person that genuinely wants to give more than what they have been given, or give more of what they've been given. But that's gonna be the end of the video. You know, I did say this is probably about an hour video. We got another 31 minutes, and we're gonna make that into another video, but I'm gonna get straight to the editing. Peace out.